Ethan Vega had never expected that a single morning could change his life completely. The hum of the space station Aurora Prime outside his window was comforting, a steady reminder that humanity had finally reached the stars. He loved the rhythm of the station, the soft whir of machinery, the occasional distant announcement over the intercom, the faint glow of Earthlight reflecting off the metal walls. It made him feel small, but safe. He was sitting at his workbench in the engineering bay, tinkering with a power module for one of the station's research drones. His hands moved with practiced precision, but his mind wandered. Space travel had become routine for him, even though it was extraordinary in history. He had friends on other colonies, colleagues who joked that humanity would be living on Mars and Venus in a few decades. But all of that felt distant today. A chime sounded from his compad. It was unusual. Lyra Solis had requested a private meeting. Lyra, the station's leading exobiologist, was brilliant, admired by everyone for her discoveries on alien life forms. She was known for her calm demeanor. But that calm always carried weight, as if every word she spoke mattered more than it seemed. "Ethan, can you come to my lab? It's urgent," the message read. Ethan's heart skipped a beat. Urgent usually meant problems with experiments. Or worse, station malfunctions. But something about Lyra's tone in the message made him feel uneasy. He wiped his hands on his coveralls and walked through the corridors, the soft hum of the station's energy cores following him like a steady heartbeat. When he entered Lyra's lab, she was standing by one of the observation windows, looking out at the stars. Her expression was unreadable, calm, but serious. The room smelled faintly of chemicals and metal, a reminder of her work with alien samples and biological experiments. "Ethan, thank you for coming," she said softly. I have something important to tell you." Ethan nodded, trying to mask his curiosity. "Of course. What's happened?" Lyra took a deep breath. "Ethan, the baby in my belly is yours." For a moment, Ethan felt like the world had stopped spinning. The words seemed impossible. His mind raced. What do you mean?" he asked, his voice trembling slightly. "I mean exactly that," Lyra replied calmly. "You'll be a father." Ethan stared at her, unable to speak. His mind flickered through memories, trying to find an explanation. How could this be? They had worked together for years, studied alien biology and human physiology side by side, but this? It felt unreal. He wanted to ask questions, but the simplest one escaped him first. "Will." Lyra's lips curved in a small, surprised smile. "I was wondering when you'd say that." Her eyes softened, and she gestured toward a chair. "Please, sit. We need to talk about everything." Ethan sank into the chair, trying to steady his racing thoughts. I don't understand. How is this even possible?" Lyra gestured to a small display on her desk, showing holographic images of her recent research expeditions. "During our last mission to Proxima Centauri's system, I was working on a rare alien reproductive organism. It interacted with human DNA in a way we did not fully predict. Somehow, your genetic material was part of the process. My body adapted to carry a child with your DNA." Ethan blinked, trying to absorb it all. Alien biology, space experiments. His mind was spinning. "You mean, I'm biologically the father?" "Yes," Lyra said simply, as if it were the most natural thing in the universe. "I know it sounds strange, impossible even, but it is true. I am carrying a child, and it is yours." The room fell silent, except for the soft hum of the station. Ethan's thoughts raced faster than he could speak. Fear, confusion, excitement, and something deeper, a strange warmth in his chest. He had always dreamed of adventure in space, of discovering new worlds. but he had never imagined this kind of journey. I don't know what to say, he admitted finally. This is more than I ever expected. Lyra nodded. I know. It's overwhelming. And it's not just a personal matter. The station's medical team needs to monitor this carefully. Human-alien interactions are unpredictable. And this child is unique. But I trust you, Ethan. I know you'll help me. And our child. Ethan swallowed hard. I want to help. I don't know how. But I'll do everything I can. Lyra's eyes shone with a mixture of relief and pride. That's all I ask. We'll navigate this together. And I hope we can be more than colleagues. I hope we can be a family. Ethan felt his heart leap. In that moment, he realized something fundamental about being human. Out here in the vast darkness of space, surrounded by unknown dangers and alien mysteries, the human capacity for love, responsibility, and hope remained strong. It was a quality no AI, no alien, no machine could replicate. Humanity's resilience, courage, and connection to one another, this was what made them special. He reached for her hand. Then, let's do this. Together. Lyra squeezed his hand back, a silent affirmation. They didn't need more words. The stars outside the window seemed to shimmer brighter, as if acknowledging the beginning of a new chapter in human history, a story of courage, love, and the miracle of life in the far reaches of space. Over the next few hours, they talked through the practicalities. The station's AI would monitor Lyra's health. Medical teams would prepare for the pregnancy, and Ethan would undergo tests to understand the genetic implications. Everything felt surreal, yet grounding. They were humans, capable of facing the unknown with determination and care. By the time Ethan returned to his quarters, his mind was a whirlwind of thoughts. He stared at the small porthole, gazing at the stars. Somewhere out there, beyond the blue glow of Earth, life was growing inside Lyra, and he was part of it. He realized, for the first time, that human life was not just about survival or exploration. It was about connection, responsibility, and hope. In the vast emptiness of space, humanity carried something unique, the ability to create, protect, and love. Ethan sat down at his desk and opened his personal journal, something he rarely used. He wrote, "Today, everything changed. I am going to be a father. We are going to be a family. I don't know what challenges lie ahead, but I know one thing. We are human. And humans do not give up. Not in space, not anywhere. We adapt. We protect. We love. And I will do all three for Lyra and our child." He paused and looked at the faint reflection of the stars on the glass. A small smile spread across his face. The future was unknown, full of risks and wonders, but it was theirs. And for the first time in his life, Ethan felt a profound sense of purpose. Somewhere, deep in the station's core, the AI registered his emotional spike. It did not fully understand the human feeling, but it noted the change. Human courage, connection, and hope were powerful forces even stronger than advanced algorithms or alien biology. And in that moment, Ethan knew something incredible. Humanity, even among the stars, would continue to shine. And so, the story of Ethan, Lyra, and the child, growing in the far reaches of space, began. A story of discovery, responsibility, and the enduring power of the human heart. The days following Lyra's revelation were a whirlwind for Ethan. Every corner of Aurora Prime seemed to remind him of the life that awaited one full of responsibility, love, and uncertainty. He moved through the corridors of the station with a strange mix of awe and apprehension. The usual hum of machinery felt louder, as if the station itself was aware that something extraordinary was unfolding. Ethan spent hours in the engineering bay, working on maintenance schedules, But his mind wandered constantly. He found himself thinking about Lyra's words, the tiny life growing inside her, and the question that had sparked his first real response. Will we get married? Marriage, a word heavy with human meaning, seemed almost alien in the cold, mechanical world of the space station. But humans thrived on connection, and Ethan understood that forming a family was one of the most powerful instincts they had. The thought of creating a home, even in the metal corridors of a station orbiting a distant star, filled him with both fear and hope. Lyra, meanwhile, adjusted to the news with remarkable composure. She attended her research tasks as usual, observing alien life samples, recording data, and running experiments. Yet, there was a subtle change in her demeanor, a warmth that had not been there before. When she looked at Ethan, her eyes carried something deeper than professional respect. It was trust, and something approaching hope. Ethan had expected awkwardness between them after the revelation. But surprisingly, life on the station began to settle into a new rhythm. They spoke openly about the pregnancy, about plans for the child, and about how humanity's resilience would guide them. The station's AI, always observant, noted their emotional patterns and sometimes offered suggestions, but Ethan realized that no algorithm could understand the depth of human emotion, love, fear, hope, or courage. One afternoon, as Ethan worked on a power relay in the station's lower deck, Lyra entered, carrying a small device that displayed holographic images of the child's developing DNA. "Ethan, come see this," she said, her voice a mixture of excitement and scientific curiosity. Ethan wiped his hands and approached. The hologram floated above her palm, showing a tiny cluster of cells, each one glowing faintly. "It's incredible," he said softly. "Our child, growing out here in space." Lyra nodded. "It's unique. The combination of human and alien biology has created something we've never seen before. I've been studying it for weeks, but every observation brings a new surprise." Ethan studied the hologram. The tiny structures shifted and multiplied, a living testament to human ingenuity and adaptability. Somehow, amidst the vast unknown of space, life had found a way to grow, and it was theirs. "I want to be involved," Ethan said firmly. Lyra smiled. "I hoped you'd say that. This is a journey we must take together. And I think it will teach us a lot, not just about science, but about ourselves." The following days were filled with preparations. The station's medical team ran tests, monitored Lyra's health, and set up a small, safe habitat within the lab for the pregnancy. Ethan assisted wherever he could, learning how to operate, monitoring devices, analyzing genetic data, and understanding the alien influences that made the pregnancy possible. It was exhausting, but every challenge strengthened his resolve. One evening, after a long day of work, Ethan and Lyra sat in the observation deck, watching a distant star slowly rise over the station's horizon. Silence settled between them, comfortable and reassuring. "I've been thinking," Ethan said finally, "about the future, about the child, about us." Lyra turned to him, her expression curious. "Go on. I want to be more than a colleague. I want to be a father. I want to build a family with you. If you'll have me," he said, his voice steady despite the nervous flutter in his chest. Lyra's eyes softened. "I want the same, Ethan. This child has brought us together in ways I didn't expect. I think we were meant to face this together." He reached for her hand, and she took it without hesitation. In that simple touch, they shared a promise to face the unknown as a family, to protect life in the cold expanse of space, and to honor the human spirit that had brought them this far. As days turned into weeks, Ethan and Lyra's bond deepened. They spent time in the lab together, not just for work, but to talk, to plan, and to imagine the life they were creating. They discussed names for the child, the future of human colonization, and the lessons they hoped to pass on. Humanity's greatest strength, Ethan realized, was not technology or intelligence. It was courage, empathy, and the desire to protect one another. Even amidst the alien and unknown, humans could create life, nurture it, and defend it. The station faced small challenges during this time. Power fluctuations, communication delays with Earth, and minor malfunctions tested their skills. But each problem was a reminder of human adaptability. Ethan and Lyra worked together, combining technical expertise and scientific insight, solving problems in ways no machine alone could. It was exhilarating and exhausting. One night, a warning siren echoed through the station. A meteor shower, predicted by orbital scans, was approaching faster than expected. The crew scrambled to adjust shields and reroute energy to protective systems. Ethan and Lyra coordinated with the engineering team, their movements precise and efficient. Ethan, the shields won't hold the impact if more meteors hit at once, Lyra said, pointing at a monitor. We need to reinforce the deflectors manually. He nodded. I'll handle it. You focus on the safety of the lab. As he worked, Ethan felt a surge of human determination. Machines were precise, but humans could think creatively, improvise, and act on instinct. He adjusted energy conduits, rerouted power, and manually triggered deflectors just in time. A few meteors grazed the station, causing minor alarms, but the main structure remained intact. After the storm passed, Ethan returned to Lyra, sweat on his brow but a smile on his face. We did it, he said. Together. Lyra hugged him tightly. Yes, together. That night, as they floated in zero gravity near the observation window, Ethan reflected on everything that had happened. They were human, fragile, yet resilient, capable of love, courage, and hope. The child growing in Lyra's womb was a symbol of that resilience, a living testament to humanity's ability to adapt and thrive. He realized that being human in space meant more than surviving. It meant caring, creating, and protecting. No alien organism, no cosmic danger, no technological challenge could diminish that. Ethan turned to Lyra, watching her rest. I promise, he whispered. I will protect our family, no matter what comes. Lyra smiled sleepily. And I'll protect you, Ethan. Together, we can face anything. As the station drifted quietly through the stars, a new chapter of human life had begun. Life was fragile, precious, and filled with unknowns, but it was also filled with love, courage, and hope. And for the first time, Ethan truly understood the depth of humanity's strength. The journey ahead would not be easy. Space was unpredictable, challenges would arise, and the child's unique biology would require constant care. But Ethan and Lyra had made a decision. To face it together, to embrace the unknown, and to honor the human spirit that had brought them this far. In that moment, amidst the silent stars and the steady hum of the station, Ethan felt a profound sense of purpose. He was a father. He was part of a family. And together, they would write a story of courage, discovery, and human triumph that would echo through the stars. The future was uncertain, but it was theirs, and that was enough. The quiet hum of Aurora Prime had become a comforting backdrop to Ethan's life. Yet space was never truly quiet. One morning, the station's alarm system sounded a deep, urgent tone that made every heart aboard skip. Ethan and Lyra rushed to the control room, their footsteps echoing through the metallic corridors. Screens flashed with warnings. A rogue asteroid, larger than predicted, was on a collision course with the station. Estimated impact in 12 hours, said Commander Rhea, the station's leader, her voice steady but tense. We need to calculate a deflection plan immediately. Ethan felt a surge of adrenaline. Space was unpredictable, dangerous, and unforgiving. And now, the life growing inside Lyra made the stakes personal. Fear flickered in his chest, but he pushed it aside. Humans, he knew, could face impossible odds with courage and creativity. Lyra, though visibly concerned, remained calm. We need to act fast. The shields alone won't be enough. Manual intervention will be required. The crew began calculations, discussing energy redirection, thruster alignment, and shield reinforcement. Ethan's mind raced with possibilities. No algorithm or AI could anticipate every variable humans had to improvise. That was their advantage. "Ethan, I need you in the engineering bay," Rhea said. "You're the only one who can reroute power to the auxiliary thrusters quickly enough." Ethan nodded. He glanced at Lyra, who gave him a determined look. She trusted him. That trust was more powerful than any fear he felt. He moved through the corridors with purpose, heart pounding, every step reminding him of what he was fighting for. When he arrived in the engineering bay, the station's AI displayed energy flow projections. Sparks flew from exposed conduits as Ethan worked, connecting circuits and rerouting power. Each adjustment required precision, but time was short. A sudden jolt shook the station. Alarms blared. Ethan gritted his teeth and focused, overriding automated systems manually. Come on, he muttered. Sweat dripped down his forehead as he made the final connection. The auxiliary thrusters powered up. In the control room, Lyra monitored the child's vital signs through her portable device, ensuring the stress of the asteroid impact didn't affect her health. Commander Rhea's fingers flew across her console, aligning the station's deflectors. The asteroid approached faster than expected, a massive shadow against the stars. Then, with a controlled burst from the auxiliary thrusters and shield adjustments, the station shifted just enough. The asteroid grazed the outer hull, sending vibrations through the metal structure, but no critical damage occurred. The alarms finally ceased. Silence returned, punctuated only by the hum of machinery. Ethan exhaled, dropping onto a nearby support beam, his heart racing. He had faced the void and prevailed. Lyra floated beside him, relief washing over her features. Ethan smiled. Exhaustion mingled with pride. "We did it," he corrected. "All of us. Humans and machines together." That night, the station settled back into its quiet rhythm. Ethan and Lyra returned to the observation deck, looking out at the stars. The distant asteroid now drifted harmlessly past the station. A reminder of the dangers lurking in space and the strength of human ingenuity. "I've been thinking about the future," Lyra said, her voice breaking the comfortable silence. "The child will grow up knowing about courage, about how humans face the unknown and protect what they love. I hope we can teach them that." Ethan nodded, holding her hand gently. "We will. And we'll show them that being human is about more than survival. It's about caring, creating, and protecting life, even when the odds seem impossible." Days passed, filled with routines of monitoring, research, and preparation. Ethan and Lyra continued to strengthen their bond, learning to rely on one another in every small task. They discussed parenting, the ethical considerations of their unique situation, and the lessons humanity could pass to the next generation. Then, another challenge emerged. A technical anomaly in the station's energy core. Minor at first, but it could escalate if left unchecked. Ethan dove into diagnostics, Lyra by his side, interpreting the readings with precision. "This is tricky," Ethan muttered. "The core is fluctuating more than normal. If we don't stabilize it, the shields could fail, especially if another external threat appears." Lyra nodded. "We need a solution that balances energy output with safety. Humans think creatively in ways AI can't always predict. Let's try rerouting power through the auxiliary conduits and adding manual feedback loops." Together, they worked through the night. Ethan's hands moved over wires and circuits while Lyra inputted calculations and adjustments. They argued gently over the best approach, their minds sharp and focused. The anomaly responded slowly, but their combined efforts paid off. The core stabilized. Ethan leaned back, breathing heavily. "We did it again," he said, a mix of pride and relief in his voice. Lyra smiled, resting a hand on her growing belly. "Life is fragile, Ethan. But so are humans strong. That's what I see every day when I look at you." Their connection deepened through these trials. Ethan realized that human courage was not the absence of fear, it was acting despite it. It was the willingness to protect others, to think beyond oneself, and to confront the unknown with determination. The weeks rolled on, and the station received news from Earth, a message of encouragement and pride. Humanity celebrated Aurora Prime's survival and the incredible scientific developments achieved there. Ethan and Lyra shared the news quietly, knowing that while the world outside cheered, their most important journey was still unfolding inside the small lab where life was growing. One evening, Lyra approached Ethan in the observation deck, her eyes shining with a mix of excitement and nervousness. "The baby is moving," she said softly. "I can feel it." Ethan placed his hand gently on her belly, amazed by the tiny movements. "It's incredible," he whispered. "Our child. Alive. Healthy. Fighting to grow in this strange, beautiful universe." Lyra nodded, tears glistening. "And we'll protect them, just like humans always do. Against danger, against fear, against anything the universe throws at us." Ethan smiled, feeling the warmth of human resilience fill him. He understood, more clearly than ever, that their bond, their courage, and their love were stronger than any obstacle. Humans thrived not just because they were intelligent, but because they cared. They adapted, they persevered, and they faced the unknown with hope. The station drifted quietly through the void, a testament to human ingenuity and determination. Ethan realized that even amidst alien threats and cosmic dangers, life, human life, was precious. And protecting it, nurturing it, and celebrating it was the greatest adventure of all. In the weeks that followed, Ethan and Lyra continued to prepare for parenthood while maintaining the station's safety. They trained for emergencies, studied alien biology, and built systems to monitor the child's growth. Every challenge, every small victory, reminded them of the unique qualities humans possessed: bravery, intelligence, empathy, and an unbreakable drive to protect one another. One night, as Ethan watched Lyra sleeping, he reflected on how far humanity had come. From Earth's surface to distant stars, humans had survived, explored, and thrived. But more importantly, they had loved, connected, and created life even in the harshest conditions. That was their strength. That was what made them human. And in that quiet observation deck, surrounded by the endless stars, Ethan promised himself that he would honor that strength. For Lyra, for their child, and for humanity, he would face any challenge. He would protect life, he would cherish love, and he would carry the human spirit forward, wherever the universe led them. The asteroid threat had passed, the energy core stabilized, and yet, Ethan knew that space would always hold dangers. But he also knew that humans, with their courage, ingenuity, and love, could face anything. For now, he simply held Lyra's hand, felt the small movements of their child, and understood that this journey, the journey of life, love, and humanity, was just beginning. The station Aurora Prime drifted quietly in the void, bathed in the soft glow of distant stars. Life aboard had returned to a calm routine, but for Ethan Vega and Lyra Solis, the most important event in their lives was approaching the birth of their child. Ethan stood in the observation deck, gazing at the stars, his mind racing with anticipation and hope. He had never felt such a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Out here, Far from Earth, the universe could be unforgiving. But he also knew that humans had a unique strength, courage, compassion, and an unbreakable will to protect life. That strength would guide them now, as it always had. Lyra floated beside him, her hand resting on her rounded belly. She smiled softly, though her eyes betrayed a flicker of worry. "Are you ready?" she asked, her voice calm, yet filled with emotion. Ethan took her hand. "As ready as I'll ever be," he said. "And not just ready for the birth. Ready for everything that comes after. We'll face it together." Lyra nodded. "Yes, together." The station's medical team had prepared a secure birthing chamber within the lab, equipped with life support systems and monitoring devices. The AI oversaw the environment, ensuring that temperature, pressure, and oxygen levels were perfect. Still, Ethan knew that no machine could replace the human touch, the courage, care, and love that made life worth protecting. As labor began, Ethan stayed by Lyra's side, holding her hand and offering words of encouragement. Each contraction was a reminder of the fragility of life and the strength of human determination. Despite the challenges of space and the uncertainty of their unique situation, Ethan and Lyra faced it together, united by love and hope. Hours passed, and Ethan marveled at Lyra's resilience. She remained calm and focused, guiding her body through each stage with determination. He adjusted equipment when needed, followed medical instructions, and offered comfort. It was exhausting, but every moment reminded him of the miracle they were about to witness. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the moment arrived. A tiny cry echoed through the chamber, a sound more powerful than any alarm, more meaningful than any achievement. Ethan's eyes filled with tears as he looked down at the small, delicate being in Lyra's arms. Their child, a perfect blend of human resilience and the unique alien biology that had brought them here, was alive and healthy. Lyra smiled, exhausted but radiant. "We did it," she whispered. "Our child. We brought them into the universe." Ethan leaned closer, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "No," he corrected gently. "You did it. You both did it. And I will protect you. Always." The medical team monitored the baby closely, amazed by its unique physiology. Despite the unusual genetic combination, the child's vital signs were strong. Ethan realized that humans were capable of incredible adaptation, not just in technology or exploration, but in life itself. The very act of creating and nurturing life in space was a testament to human courage and ingenuity. As the days passed, Ethan and Lyra adjusted to parenthood. They took turns caring for the child, monitoring its growth, and marveling at every small milestone. The baby's first smile, its tiny hands reaching out, and its attempts to respond to voices reminded them that life was fragile yet powerful. Humanity's legacy, they realized, was not just exploration or survival, it was the ability to create, protect, and love. One afternoon, the station received a message from Earth. A message of congratulations and wonder. Humanity celebrated the birth of the first human-alien hybrid child in space. Scientists, engineers, and explorers sent their best wishes, inspired by the courage and resilience of Ethan and Lyra. The news spread across colonies, a symbol of hope and the limitless potential of humanity. Ethan and Lyra read the messages together, holding their child close. "It's amazing," Lyra said softly. "People are celebrating, but the real miracle is right here." Ethan nodded, smiling down at their child. "Yes, and we'll make sure they grow up knowing what it means to be human, to face challenges, to protect life, to love, and to hope." As the months passed, the station continued its work in the distant star system. Ethan and Lyra balanced parenting with their responsibilities, teaching their child the values that made humanity remarkable. They showed that humans could adapt, survive, and thrive in the harshest environments, but also that the true strength of humanity lay in connection, empathy, and courage. The child grew quickly, learning to respond to voices, to reach for objects, and to observe the stars with curiosity. Ethan often held the child near the observation window, pointing out planets, asteroids, and distant galaxies. "See that?" he would say. "Humans are out there, exploring, learning, protecting. One day, you'll do the same." Lyra smiled beside him. "And you'll always know that you come from a family that faced the unknown together. That's what being human means." One evening, as the station orbited a glowing blue star, Ethan and Lyra sat with their child between them. The soft light reflected off the metal walls, creating a warm glow that contrasted with the cold void outside. For a moment, the universe seemed endless, full of mysteries and dangers. Yet inside the station, life thrived. Ethan looked at Lyra, his eyes filled with gratitude and love. "We've faced so much," he said softly, "and we'll face more. But I know we can do it. Because humans, we don't give up. We adapt. We protect. We love." Lyra squeezed his hand. "And now we have a family. Our child will carry the same courage and hope that we do. They'll grow, knowing what it means to be human, even in the stars." The station's AI monitored their environment, noting that emotional activity was unusually high. It could not fully understand the depth of human love, joy, or pride, but it registered the stability these emotions brought. In its own way, the AI learned from them humans were unpredictable, creative, and resilient beyond calculation. As the months turned into years, Ethan and Lyra's family grew stronger. The child learned to move through the station's corridors, to interact with equipment, and to observe alien life under Lyra's guidance. Each milestone was a celebration, a reminder that life was precious and that humanity's potential was limitless. Ethan often reflected on the journey that had begun with a simple revelation: "The baby in my belly is yours." That moment had changed everything. It had tested their courage, challenged their ingenuity, and strengthened their bond. But more than anything, it had revealed the enduring power of human spirit. One day, as the child took their first steps near the observation window, Ethan whispered, "This is just the beginning. Humanity has a long journey ahead, filled with wonders and challenges. But with courage, love, and hope, we can face anything." Lyra smiled, holding their child close. "And we will. Together. Always together." The stars outside the window shimmered, silent witnesses to a family that embodied the very best of humanity. Life, love, courage, and hope had triumphed once again, proving that even in the vast, cold universe, humans carried a light that could never be extinguished. Ethan looked at the child, then at Lyra, and finally, at the endless expanse of stars. "We're human," he said softly, "and being human means never giving up. Protecting life, loving each other, exploring the unknown. That's our story, and it will continue, no matter where the universe takes us." Lyra kissed his cheek, the child nestled safely between them. The station drifted silently, a home in the stars, a symbol of human courage, ingenuity, and the enduring power of love. And so, the story of Ethan, Lyra, and their child reached a new beginning, a testament to humanity's resilience, its boundless hope, and the ability to thrive, love, and protect life, no matter how far from home they traveled. The universe was vast, full of unknowns and challenges, but humanity's light would always shine. Together, as a family, they were ready for whatever came next.